to the 27-yard line. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6.
Strip that ball.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
At the 45-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Here we go, here we go. 280. Right there, 56. Check.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal.
46 down, man, 5-4. No.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
On first down, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Here we go, G.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
At the 50-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Watch the boot.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get... a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Dolphins will start their drive at the 20-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally. and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Balaj, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after one on EA Sports. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Shotgun now for Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They'll look to run with Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And an alley to run. The quick feet by Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 39 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him, being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go. 28-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And an alley to run. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Jackson now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
82.
Now Balaj. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Chandler Jones, a former All-Pro, in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into big.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Chris Jones breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
57.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Wentz. And this is Parker, complete.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now, Wentz again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. Jennings was the one he was looking for. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. They go play action now. Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stack sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Ravens push further out in front. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On play action, Wentz going for the deep ball. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
First down, Dolphins.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty is Jones. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, back man. 280! Hey, forward, Tokyo!
Tight to the right, boy, tight to the right. Move! Forward! Alert!
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
82, 40.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Doris Felton. 66 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the number 1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up, and now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 27, Wentz.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Working from the gun, Wentz. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 93 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing his Wentz. And he finds Parker here, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing now is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Again, it's Wentz. Jones has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
This one complete into the hands of Darius Fountain. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
We own them. We own them.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy.
On third down, Swift. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
It's now 4th down and 1.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship. And now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you